Hi, this is Dr. Frank Thomas with another installment of Living Your Passion. And I want to do a very special message today to you. It's entitled, Ain't No Hurt Like a Church Hurt. I want to tell you a story about how I came to this subject matter. I had built a relationship with a pastor and his spouse, and the pastor died. And so as part of my ministry to the spouse, I took her to lunch, or I think it was lunch or dinner. I took her out for a meal. And I was trying to be encouraging and supportive in ministry. And so I asked a question like, in all these years of serving the church, what have you learned? And she said, ain't no hurt like a church hurt. And I never forgot that, and I've never forgotten it because it has always rung true, that there's a special hurt in the church. And there are many, many people who've been hurt in church. Many people watching me right now have been hurt in church. Some are, as we said, de-churched. You no longer go to church because you've been hurt in church. I contemplated other kinds of hurt. You know, divorce is a kind of hurt. Losing a job is a kind of hurt. Losing a spouse to death is a kind of hurt. How could I make the statement that ain't no hurt like a church hurt? Well, because I believe that the church is a place where you bring those other hurts. And if you hurt in church, and the hurt is such that you can't bring those other hurts, ain't no hurt like a church hurt. And so a lot of us have been wounded and hurt. But Paul says, let us not be weary in well-doing, for we will reap a harvest if we faint not. Especially let us do good to the household of faith. So I want to encourage someone that I believe that there is church hurt. I believe that we can grow and mature. I have this other saying that I've been in church all of my life, and I've seen more than I want to have seen. I know more than I wanted to have known, but I didn't lose my joy. You see, a church hurt will make you lose your joy. You lose your enthusiasm. You lose your passion. You'll lose your belief. You'll lose a whole lot of things. But I'm determined that I don't care what happens in church. I serve God, I love God, and I believe God. And so despite the church hurts, I continue to serve. Despite the church hurts, I continue to love. I believe the scripture says, you will reap if you faint not. You will reap a harvest. The God that we serve notices you, loves you, and takes care of you. And so for all of the church hurt I have had, and I have had a tremendous amount of it, I can sit in this chair and testify that God has done in my life more than I could have even asked for. I've been more places, done more things, met more people. I have more joy and fullness, that despite the hurts I've had and disappointment and heartache, God has blessed me abundantly for faithful service. And that scripture is, you will reap if you faint not, is true. So I want to encourage somebody, don't faint. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't quit believing God. Keep trusting. Do the right thing. Regardless of what happens, do the right thing, because God will reap a harvest in your life if you faint not. I get to do what I enjoy doing because I fainted not. God restored to me everything and more. Anything that I lost, I have received it. I am telling someone listening to me, God is who God says God is in that Bible. And God will do it if you faint not. So don't faint, because you will reap a harvest in God's time. Well, I want to again thank you for your time and your attention. I want you to know that every Monday we release a video on preaching. Absolutely every Monday is fresh. You want to be a part of it. On Friday, we release another Live Your Passion in this series. You don't want to miss that. 8 a.m. on Monday morning, we have a Periscope session on preaching. You can be a part of that. And up on SoundCloud, we will indeed release a spiritual vitamin every week. I want you to check in with all these platforms, subscribe, so that as soon as they come out, you can just be a part and receive them. I want to thank you for your listening time. Thank you for your ear. I have learned that I will reap a harvest if I faint not. I'm a witness that God will do it. God bless you. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.